Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome to the latest episode of our entertainment show. As you know, in part three of our entertainment show, each week we premiere new TV series or movies that are debuting in Ireland and the UK this month, and especially in Ireland. And up for discussion this week, it's a movie that's out in cinemas nationwide on March the 31st. It's called Assassin. It's not Bruce Willis's last movie, but one of his final sort of movies in terms of his prolonged, distinguished acting career. He plays the character of Valmora, also featuring Andy Allo, Dominic, our own Irish actor, our own pride and joy, Dominic Purcell, plays the bad guy in this movie. He plays the role of Adrian. Mustafa Shakir plays the role of Sebastian, Fernanda Andrade. And just to give some bit of backstory about this is about a futuristic drone warfare. A man dies as part of an experimental military program, and a former Black Ops soldier takes his place to find out who killed him. So the fixer tries to become the fix, dare I say. So it's Bruce Willis against Dominic Purcell, all out sort of action, sort of blockbuster thriller, futuristic sort of, let's say, enhanced warfare. And our special guest this evening, she plays a prominent role throughout the movie, the one and only Vanessa Vander Plym. Vanessa, first of all, working with Bruce Willis late on in his distinguished acting career, was Bruce in full of buzz for this movie? I spoke to Kate Katzman recently, who did his final movie, Paradise Sort of City, and she said she could notice the real effects taking place with Bruce. But was a bit earlier before that? Was Bruce in a good nick throughout this movie?
He, things like this, they come on slowly, right? So there's little things here and there that you notice. But my good friend is his stunt double for a number of years now. Okay. And so it was great to get to work with Stuart and to see amazing how the team worked together, his stunt double, his photo double, and Bruce worked together to make the film happen, given what he was, going through.
And Vanessa, we'll talk about you now, and tell us, what sort of role do you play in Assassin? Are you on the books of Bruce's character Valmora? Are you on the good side, or are you caught up with Dominic Purcell with evil intentions?
I am I'm both a bad guy and an innocent.
Okay. So you're the ultimate double cross, dare I say?
Well, I don't know it though. Okay. That's why I'm an innocent. So I am basically mind controlled to be a bad guy, and then I wake up out of it, and I have no idea what's going on, why I'm there, why I'm just tied to a chair and freaking out.
So you're the ultimate sort of, the lights go out,
Taxi.
the eyes go out, the gear sort of kicks in, and you're the ultimate sort of hitman or hit woman, should I say, in terms of that. And do we get to see your arsenal of martial arts in full display throughout this movie?
Unfortunately, we don't, because I love doing fights. I have a big background. I'm a black belt, and I've trained wushu, kickboxing, capoeira, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, a ton of different fighting styles. And I didn't actually get to use that because basically I am the unassuming person that you don't realize, could kill you.
Okay. And what was your sort of interactions with Dominic Purcell, our Irish own Dominic Purcell, throughout the movie? Was it your first time working with Dominic, and how'd you find that experience?
You know, I really enjoyed the entire cast. They were all very down to earth. Everybody was just, I mean, in order to film this movie, I mean, they do it in a very short period of time, you know, compared to many of the other kinds of blockbusters that I've worked on. Like I just worked on The Mother that's coming out, the Jennifer Lopez movie for Netflix. And so the amount of time you spend on something like that is a lot more than on one of these films. And I was amazed at the machine, how they were able to all just really come together and knock it out, you know, and really do, everybody did such a great job. And back on Bruce, I have to say it was kind of a career highlight to the first scene I had with him, to have him look at me after the take and he's like, nice job. And he had that Bruce Willis smirk. And I was like, Bruce Willis just told me I did a nice job. I like it, you know, it just, you grow up watching, you know, his films and he was just so charismatic, so wonderful as an actor that it was nice to get that compliment him. But everybody on set was very positive. We, you know, hung out, had drinks back at the hotel, and had some whiskey.
And did you shoot in Georgia, Atlanta?
No, we were in Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my first
A bit
time
off the
filming.
norm, bit off the beaten track, Alabama, to be shooting a movie. It's not one of the conventional ones.
I drove out there. That was my first time, you know, making that drive, and it was beautiful. And I got to go by. There's a automotive museum out there that has like tons of old motorcycles that I was just like giddy about. They were so. It's a state that is overlooked. I think it's actually really beautiful.
Yeah, and I suppose obviously you're rolling into Alabama and the likes of Bruce Willis and Dominic Purcell coming in there in a short turnaround. Did you get much attention from the locals in terms of where you were sort of shooting? Was it sort of screened off? Was it privatized? Obviously, because when a production comes to Alabama and word probably comes around the local place that Bruce Willis, Dominic Purcell, Mustafa Shakir are all going to be in the sort of locality. It's probably more big news than what you get in terms of places like California, places like Vancouver, New York, New Jersey. Would expect to see that.
California and New York, they're like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
I need to go here. Get out of my way. I'm walking through your clothes off. But yeah, there it was. I'm trying to remember because this was like a year ago. So okay. I'm like remembering the locations and stuff. You know, there were a few people like looking and checking out and everything, but it wasn't too bad. Like, I think they were pretty respectful of it. They're like, it's more like a new scenario where they're like checking it out, but they don't know what to do exactly. They're like, I'm going to keep my distance because I don't want something to go wrong. You know, they're very respectful there. Everybody seemed really wonderful.
And I suppose in terms of Assassin, is it the modern sort of story where it sort of builds up, beginning, middle, sort of end? We have, let's say we have a heightened action sponsor around the middle, and we sort of the plot unveils itself or reveals itself, and then towards the end, then we have the ultimate sort of climax, that ultimate sort of face off. Is that the sort of norm, or we sort of is the plot and the whole motive established within the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie? Is it a fairly easy snag to get your grasp into it? Oh, that's basically what it is from start to finish?
I would say there's a mental aspect to it all. There's a trying to figure out what's going on here. And, we always sound like kind of vague because you're like, what can I talk about? What can I not, but there's stuff to uncover, let's say, as you're going along. It isn't your standard, like, it's not like your 80s and 90s action, right?
Yeah. And I suppose, Vanessa, obviously this sort of role that you were involved in terms of your sort of character, is she sort of, apart from being that sort of assassin, is there any sort of deep emotions or rooted to her, or is it just very much she's that cloned type of a killer? There's no real sort. The backstory is Willis.
Just dead, completely dead. Like not in control, right? That's why when I am brought out of it, there's like that's when all the emotion is. That's when all the human side comes out, is because you're realizing the things that they're saying you've done,
Okay. And Vanessa, was there a private sort of cast sort of screening for the movie upon its conclusion? Did you get to see the final product, the whole movie?
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't. I've been out of the country. Like I said, I was working on The Mother. So I was up in Canada and then over in the Canary Islands.
Yes. So in the start of April, you'll get to see all the rest of the world. Come March the 31st, you'll get to see it for the first time yourself as well. So in terms
I got tagged in the trailer. That's how I found out it was coming out. I got my Instagram tagged in it. I was like, oh, yay.
And is there a bit of a giddy sort of excitement in terms of, or do you see it as part of the business when a movie or a TV episode that your guest appearing comes out? Do you see it as part of the business? Is there not really that much sort of hype as an actor or an actress, maybe a young actor or a young actress starting off their first big break or their first major role, where there's that sheer overwhelming sense of enjoyment? Or if you've been doing it for a while, does that sort of sense of enjoyment when each project comes out, does it sort of wear off there, I say?
I would say so I started in the business when I was actually a kid. And I've worked both as an actress and as a stunt woman. And for me, like, it's almost like I'm sort of afraid to watch it because I know I'm gonna pick apart everything I do. So it's kind of like, okay, let's settle in, like probably the worst thing is to have to watch it with a bunch of other people, because I'm just going to sit there and critique myself the whole time.
So in terms of an actress, do you almost feel like, do you have to be a perfectionist? Is that the way you start to look at it, and everything you hone your craft? Is it that sort of perfectionist element that's built into your DNA or character?
I am a perfectionist at everything I do. I was a world-class rhythmic gymnast. I competed for the US for 5 years. I'm an artist. I love learning things and doing things, but I never do it half-assed.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to build a bed. So did I build some easy rustic bed? No, I did it with like walnut and like, a chevron pattern and laminate and like all this stuff. And I did it all from scratch with joinery and everything, because if you're going to do it right. That's kind of my upbringing is, my parents are both, like, my dad was a architect, but he was also a sand sculptor. My mom was a nurse, but then she owned a stained glass and tile shop. So we're all like a mix of the perfectionist, scientific more side, and then the more creative, free-flowing, artistic side. You know, my sister was a writer, a teacher, like we're kind of all over the map with that. So in our art, we find a lot of focus on the minutia. We enjoy it.
Yeah. So dare I say, when you had your diehard moment from Bruce Willis in terms of getting his seal of approval, that you could have your own sort of diehard moment on screen, obviously as a perfectionist, that was like, right, I've got approval from the best of the best in terms of that. So that sort of, it's an adrenaline rush for you.
I would say it's always nice when somebody that you respect gives you respect back, right? My thing is I try to never worry about what people have to say if I don't actually respect them. Like, I give everybody a basic level of respect, right? You're a human being, you deserve a basic level of respect. But if I don't hold you up as a standard of what I want to be, then I don't really worry so much about the opinion, right? Because it's not what I aspire to be. So when people like I worked with Ray Liotta, and he was fantastic to work with. And when he would compliment me as well, it was Ray Liotta, you know, like Ray Liotta just complimented me. And so it's kind of that, it's a little pat on the back, I would say. And just like the kid side of you being very excited to be working with people that you saw on screen and you love, and they're like, hey, yeah, you're one of us, you know.
And Vanessa Vander Plym, for the final 30 seconds, you might enlighten all our audience, all our listeners, why they should go to the cinemas on March 31st, whether it be in their car, their bicycle, a train, an airplane, an automobile, whatever sort of mode of transport to get to the cinema. Get to cinema, get onto that cinema seat, whether it has a fancy recliner or not, put their feet up, have the popcorn, the Pepsi, and munch down, put the hands around the back, and watch Assassin. What's in store for them, Vanessa?
You know, I'd say bring a date, bring a friend, bring somebody, get out, right? Get into theaters again. How amazing is that? And just enjoy being entertained, right? Enjoy sitting and sharing it in that experience with others and being entertained together. It's got action, it's got Bruce, it's got, you know, a great all-around cast, and just enjoy the experience of it.
Okay. On that note, Vanessa Vander Plym, from me, Jim Conlan, to you, stay safe, take care, God bless. We hope that you do get time to watch Assassin yourself come March the 31st, and get to enjoy yourself and enjoy what Bruce Willis saw in terms of your own performance. But from me, Jim Conlan, to you, Vanessa Vander Plym, stay safe, take care, and God bless.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Vanessa.